Today we'll be looking at rounding numbers. The prerequisites for rounding numbers are there are none. So what is rounding? Rounding is adjusting the digits of a number to make it easier and simpler to do math. So there are two types of rounding. So one type of rounding is rounding up. So rounding up, the number looks like it's getting bigger. So we say that 47 we round it up to 50. And just notice how the number is bigger, but the last digit is a 0. So like another type of rounding is rounding down. The number looks like it's getting smaller. So for example, 42 will be rounded down to 40, and you can see like the first digit stays the same, and then the next digit 0, so you're like decreasing it. So you might ask, how do we round numbers? It's very important to know what digit we are rounding. So we take a look at this number, 3,746. So the 3 is in the thousands place, the 7 is in the hundreds place, and 4 is in the tens place. This is like really important to know when you're rounding numbers. So let's see how we round numbers. So we first decide which digit we are rounding, and then we look at the next digit, and if it's 5 or more, we round up. If it's less than 5, we round down. So it's a little like number line. It shows like if it's greater than 5, you round up in green, and if it's less than 5, you round down. Here's another little graphic. It's a little hill. So if like your number is the digits like on the 5, like it'll roll down. But if it's like not there, it's like at the 4 or 3, you kind of just roll back down. So it's like rounding down. So we'll be rounding numbers to the tens. So for example, you kind of just do the same thing. You look at the number in tens place and look at the next digit. If it's 5 or more, we round up. If it's less than 5, we round down. So here's a quick example. 37. 3 is in the tens place, and the next digit is 7. And 7 is greater than 5, so we round up. So we round 37 up to 40. Next, we can round numbers to the hundreds place. It's the same process. You look at the number it's in the hundreds place, and then look at the next digit. Like same, if it's 5 or more, you round up. If it's less than 5, you round down. So looking at the example 139, we see that 1 is in the hundreds place, right? So we'll round that number, and the digit after 1 is 3. So since 3 is less than 5, we're going to round down. So you round out completely. So 139 is rounded down to 100. And finally, we'll be rounding numbers to the thousands place. So same process. You look at the number in the thousands place, and then you look at the next digit. If it's 5 or more, you round up. If it's less than 5, you round down. So for example, 3,781, quite a big number, but since we're rounding to the thousands place, we look at the 3. So 3 is in the thousands place, and we're going to be rounding at that number. And the next digit after that is 7. And since 7 is 5 or more, we'll be rounding up. So 3,781 is rounded up to 4,000. So here's a quick practice problem. What is the value of 3,548 rounded to the tens place? This is A, 4,000, B, 3,600, C, 3,550, or D, 3,540. So I'll give you a few seconds to pause the video, work this one out, and when you're done, unpause and we'll get into like the explanation of it. So look at the explanation. We see that C, 3,550 is the correct answer. So since we're rounding to the tens place, the 4 is in the tens place, so we'll be looking at that digit. We'll be rounding up or down. Then looking at the next digit, it's an 8. So since 8 is greater than 5, we'll be rounding up. So 3,548 is rounded up to 3,550 because we're only looking at the tens place, which is the 4. So yeah, since the number 8 is greater than 5, we'll round the number in front of it up to the next value. So that's why you see 4 goes to 5.